Hey, what's going on, guys? It is DFS Heart here today. And today we have another NBA slate breakdown. Today's only a five gamer, as you can see on the screen. So not a huge one, but these are games I like to target, 5 game slates. They're a lot easier to manage than the huge 10 gamers or the very high risk low slates like the 2 to 3 gamers. So before we get into today's breakdown, could you please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel? I greatly appreciate it. The video quality is slowly getting better on my videos, as you guys can tell from the first one. I finally fixed the quality, so this should be great video quality. You can get into 1080p now, and then I have a microphone coming, so the mic will be crisp and clean, and you'll be able to hear me clearly and fully. That comes in tomorrow, so going forward, the content's gonna be A plus. I'm slowly getting used to be able to talk to the camera starting a little bit. Sorry for that. Just because, it's trying to come up with stuff to say, not being used to this, you kind of ramble. But if you guys could drop me a follow on Twitter as well, at DFS Heart, I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys may have, any DMs. You know, NBA DFS is hard just because you get to stay locked into the injury news right up until lock. And I know a lot of people don't like doing that. So if you follow me on Twitter, it'll be a lot easier for me to answer your questions and keep you updated when I retweet stuff or quote comment stuff. So yeah, give me a follow on there. And let's look at the spreads. So today we have Thunder Clippers. Wait, I don't think they're enough. Yeah, never mind. Sorry about that. Not Thunder Clippers. We got the Hornets Magic, 1 point spread, 214 over under. Cavs Celtics, 6 point spread, 212 over under. Hawks Bucks, 8 point spread, 230 over under. Wizards Spurs, 7 point spread, 231 over under. And Knicks Blazers, 4 point spread, 214 over under. So as we can tell by the spread total, the Hawks Bucks and the Wizards Spurs are probably going to be the most high owned games, which is fair. And we'll get to the Wizards side. They have a decent amount of guys out. So let's get on into it. First off, we got Cleveland Boston. Drummond at the top, 9-3. I don't know if I'll go there. Jared Allen's been getting up the backup minutes at center. It's cutting into Drummond's time. He's not getting that 35 to 40 range right now. So, he got you there yesterday or 2 days ago, but I don't think he's more of a risky GPP play if you want to play him. It's a decent matchup against Boston, but it's just his minutes. You don't know if he's going to get you there. Colin Sexton, 7-1. I think he's a pretty good play. He only got 30 minutes last game they played against Brooklyn, but I think he's still firmly in play. He's going to get you, 35 plus if it's a close game. Even if it's a blowout, he's still going to get you, at least 30 minutes. He's very scoring dependent. Doesn't get you a lot of rebounds and assists sometimes, so you got to keep an eye out on that. But, he does have that 50 fantasy point upside. So at 7-1 against Boston, he's still going to be their main scorer. Larry Nance, 6'9". You can go there if you want. I probably wouldn't for that price tag. Seti, 6'1", same thing. If you want to go there, sure, but I'm not interested. Jared Allen, 6'1". He had a good game off the bench last game, but only saw about 20 minutes. I don't think you get to go there for 6'1" yet. Darius Garland, 5'5". I know he came off the bench and played about 20 minutes, 22. Shot the ball 13 times, which is nice to see, but if he's coming off the bench, I don't think you need to go there yet for 5'5". But if he is starting at 5'5", I think he's a pretty good play on today's slate. And then last guy to talk about is Taurean Prince. He's getting about 20 minutes a game. Not shooting a ton, so he's a little bit risky, but at 4-4, if you want to take a GPP dart throw at him, you can. Moving on to the Boston side, we have Tatum still out, so that means Jaylen Brown. He's a great play last slate. I unfortunately didn't play him. I looked over other ways, but yeah, he's going to play about 35, maybe closer to 40 minutes if it's a close game. He's gonna, do everything, shoot the ball, rebound, assists, get you a block or a steal. So I mean, it's 8-6 against Cleveland. I think he's a B plus A minus play today. Really good spot. Kemba Walker, if he doesn't have a minutes limit, he'd be a really good option on today's slate at 6-3. But it's just he had that 25 to 28 minute limit last game against Philly. He played 29. So if they lift it, I'd look to Kemba Walker. But if he's still in that minutes limit, I wouldn't go there just yet at 6-3. Marcus Smart, back-to-back 37 fantasy point games at 6-1. Price tag went down a little bit, $100. So you can definitely take a shot. I mean, Tatum's still out. Kemba's still on a minutes limit, we think. So he's still going to be chucking. He can get that high 30s, maybe in the 40 fantasy point upside if he's doing well defensively and rebounding. So I'm fine if you go there at 6-1. Dice, 5K. I want to do it. Hopefully you guys didn't chase his 23-10 game against Philly in that second one, because as you can see, he only played 24 minutes and got you 13.5 fantasy points. So 5K is just a risky GPP dart throw if you want to go there. Same with Thompson. I think he's only getting about 20 minutes a game. 26 last game, but yeah, getting you around 20 minutes a game. I just want to go there at 4-4. And then Teague should be getting a little bit more run with Pritchard out today. So you can definitely look to Teague to get, at least 20, maybe 25 minutes. He's not a great fantasy point per minute guy, but at 3.9, you could take a shot on him, getting a little bit extra run and doing a little bit more offensively with Pritchard out. And the last guy you can look towards is Robert Williams. He's been getting about 15 to 20 minutes a game. Not a high usage guy, but if there is foul trouble with Dice or Thompson, Robert Williams will fill in and could get you there at 3-5. Charlotte and Orlando. Gordon Hayward, 7-5. Had a good game. Last game against the Bulls, as I mentioned, Bulls are terrible defensively. I didn't want to go there, but he, got you 50 fantasy points. So once again, 7-5, good matchup against Orlando. He's, the number one option on their team. Going to play about 35 minutes a game, so if it's competitive. So, I mean, Gordon Hayward's a good option today. LaMelo Ball, 7-2. As I mentioned in my last slate, I want to go there at 7-8. The price tag's too high. As I mentioned, he doesn't shoot the ball well. I still want to go there at 7-2 again. I know he had a bad game, so you can buy low if you want, but I just don't think if the other two guards, Devontae Graham and Terry Rozier, are playing well, that LaMelo Ball will get that much run. So I still want to go there at 7-2. You guys can take that risk if you want. PJ Washington, same thing as I said last slate, 6-6. It's okay price tag, but I mean, he just has games where he'll score a lot and not get you a lot of rebounds or assists, or he'll score, in the mid range and get you a good round of rebounds and assists. So it's just your classic GPP play at 6-6. I would advise not to go there. There's definitely better options, to pay down for, pay up for. So I wouldn't do it if I was you guys. Terry Rozier, Devontae Graham, not at the same price. It's kind of pick or choose. They're both playing about 30, 35 minutes a game. Devontae Graham is shooting the ball a lot better, so I'm fine if you guys land on them. But, I don't know if I'm going to do it. And then Cody Zeller didn't have a minutes limit last game. Only played 11, so I wouldn't go there. I just go more of the, one of the two guards and then look to Gordon Hayward on the Charlotte side. Orlando side, Vooch, 9-1, firmly in play. No one's going to be able to guard him, Zeller's not, and Biyombo, so I think he's in a great spot at 9-1 against Charlotte. As we saw the past couple games, he's got that 50, 60 fantasy point upside. So I think he's in a great spot today. Aaron Gordon, same thing, 7-4. He's going to play 35 plus minutes a night. He can get you there on points, rebounds, and assists. So at 7'4", I think he's a great player, just like Gordon Hayward is. Fournier, I wouldn't chase it. He had like his best game of the season, and like the best game. And if you compare it to last season, I think it might be one of his best games. He got you there on points, assists, rebounds, like 9 assists. He's not even averaging 2 or 3. He's averaging 3 now because of that game, but he's basically getting 2 a game, 1 off for 9. I know this. I think the game went into overtime against Indiana, so there's definitely more minutes added to everyone's game logs, and they're able to get more points, rebounds, and assists. So I definitely want to chase it 5'8". Ross, you can land on him if you want. Very score independent. I want to go there. And the last guy I would look to is Cole Anthony. Mark Carter Williams still out, so he's going to get about 30 minutes a game. You just got to hope he hits his shots because then he can get you some rebounds and assists and, pay off that $5K salary. But I want to feel comfortable with it. I just much rather target Vooch and Gordon. Atlanta, Minnesota. I think it's the second high scoring game on the slate behind Washington and the Spurs. You can look to Trae Young. He is questionable, so you got to keep an eye out for that. So follow me on Twitter, and I'll keep you guys updated at DFS Heart. But, we've seen Trae Young is starting to pick it up now. 50, 55, 66, 56. So he is questionable due to back spasms. So if he plays, it's still a great spot against, the Bucks. Even though Drew Holiday would be guarding him, so you could definitely look to fade it. But he still has an upside with, points and assists. So he's in an okay spot at 9-4 against Milwaukee. Clint Capella, just been unreal the past couple of games. I was going to play him last game. I know he got lucky with the 10 blocks, but I took Aaron Gordon and Clint Capella out the last second to pay up for Kyrie. It didn't work out, but yeah, you can go right back to Capella, 54, 54, 76, 63. Just like Trae, he's been going off the past 4 games. 8-5, his price tag's coming up a little bit more. And he's going against Brook Lopez and Giannis, so they have a lot more length and height compared to other teams. So I think he might be due for, 30, 40 fantasy points at most at 8-5, which is not bad, but I don't know if you want to go to the top 2. But if you're doing a game stack this game, just because it has a high total, you can definitely look to these top 2 guys. I'm not going to, steer you away from that. You can definitely take a look to John Collins if Trae Young is out. He'll definitely look to shoot more. 7K is a decent price tag. You just got to be wary of the foul trouble because he's most likely to be guarding Giannis. So he'd definitely become a risky play. But you can look to him. Hunter, 5'8". Okay play. As I mentioned, he'll get you like 30, 35 plus minutes a game. Get you around 30 fantasy points. That was a little bit more of a floor game last game. He only played 27 minutes, but it was a blowout. But yeah, he's an okay option at 5'8". And then, Gallinari's back. He's getting some run. 15 minutes. I don't know if I'd go there. It just depends on what they do with Trae. If Trae's in, I'd just, maybe take a shot on, Trae, Capella, or Collins. And, hope they do well. Otherwise, let's see. Not Chris Dunn. Cam Reddish. Played 25 minutes last game. You can definitely take a shot at him at 4-9. He's looking to shoot the ball. He's going to do, 4 to 5 rebounds a game. So I think he's a decent play at 4-9 against Milwaukee. Last guy you could look to is Rondo. If Trae Young's out, you're definitely going to want to play Rondo. He's going to get most of the run. He's a great fantasy point per minute guy, as we saw against Minnesota. He's a little bit of blowout, so got a little bit more run, but 9, 7, and 6, 30 fantasy points at 3.5K. He's definitely firmly in play if Trae is out. And if we get that news and you see this video, definitely play Rondo. And then you could also take a shot on Goodwin. he definitely could be in the backup run. So, or he could maybe start over Rondo. So you just got to keep an eye out on that. So you'd want to take a shot on one of those two lower owned guys if Trey's out. Milwaukee side, Giannis top 10-4 in a great spot against Atlanta. Definitely firmly in play. Same with Middleton, 7-8. And with Drew Holiday. I mean, all three of these guys are firmly in play against Atlanta if you're doing a game stack. Brook Lopez, you can take a shot, 5-4. He's been picking up a little bit more recently. He's only had that 30 fantasy point upside. So, 5-4, you can do it if you want. I wouldn't. DiVincenzo at 5-1. No. Bobby Portis, excuse me. 4-5. You can go there if you want. He does have upside if the game blows out. But other than that, he's playing about 15 minutes a game to 20. So, he's more of a dart throw. I want to go there. Washington, San Antonio, the highest scoring game on the slate. You're probably going to want to look to Brad Beal. His usage is insane. He pretty much plays the whole game if it's close. So at 10-2, I think he's in a great spot. He's got, 70, 80 fantasy point upside if he's hitting shots. Shooting the ball well. He's always been a great shooter, so I'd definitely look to Beal. He's going to be very popular today, but for obvious reasons. Russ, I think, is out for today's game. It says he's questionable. I think they listed him out, so keep an eye on this. But if he's out, it just solidifies Brad Beal being a top play. But if Russ is in, you could definitely look to Russ too. It'd take a little bit of usage away from Brad Beal. I definitely look to Russ for that triple-double upside. Thomas Bryant is out. Bertans is out. Hachimura is out. Nato is questionable. So this team is just, a crap show. So that means Robin Lopez will probably get the start. Ish Smith's out. Denny's out. Mo's out. This team is just overrun by COVID. So this is where a ton of the value is going to be happening, and a lot of the ownership's going to feed off to these value guys. So if I was you guys, it's going to be Beal, Russ if he plays, but if he doesn't, so it'll be Beal, Nato if he plays, hopefully, Robin Lopez, James Robinson, and I'd say again Matthews. I wouldn't feel quite happy with Alex Len or Jordan Bell. I mean, if Cassius Winston gets to start and not a run, you could play him. But this team is just, it's unfortunate just because of you don't know what's going on. So you got to keep updated with injury news on Twitter. So definitely give me a follow at DFS Heart, because this is going to be the key to the slate, is getting these guys right. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to break it down without knowing much information right now, but definitely look to Beal, Russ if he's in, Nato if he's in, Lopez, and then Robinson and Matthews you can take a dart throw on, or possibly Cassius Winston. So we'll see. Gonna need to follow that up to the slate lock to be able to know what to do. San Antonio side, as I mentioned, DeRozan's the most reliable. Got you 47 last game. Price tag came down a little bit, which I like. So he's in a great matchup against the Spurs, or not the Spurs, the Wizards. DeJounte Murray went out, so it definitely led to more usage for DeRozan last game. He's questionable, so you got to keep an eye out on that. If he's out, it leads to more usage for DeRozan, Keldon Johnson, LaMarcus, and, Patty Mills might even get the start. So he'd be firmly in play at 5K, or even Lonnie Walker. And that'd probably lead to more minutes for Vassell. So, as I mentioned, it's always tough playing the Spurs guys because you never know who's going to play well. Vassell's a great value play at 4K because he's going to get you about 20 minutes a game and can get you there, with rebounds, points, and assists. So I look to him if you want to get off some of those chalky Washington guys for value. Or Walker, because he can shoot it better than Vassell. So, it's pretty much play whoever you want on this side and just hope they do well. I definitely look to DeRozan at the top. LaMarcus is in a great spot. I know he was last game. Went off for 43, as I mentioned to you guys. Buy low, 5-5. I should have went there. Obviously, I didn't. But, yeah, had a great game last game. I think he's firmly in play once again. Even if DeJounte Murray's in, it'll definitely take away a little bit from LaMarcus and other guys. But if he's out, go right back to LaMarcus. no one's gonna be able to guard him on the Washington side. So, yeah, I'd say my top two plays are DeRozan, LaMarcus, and then Patty Mills or Lonnie Walker, depending on who they start at point guard. Last game of the day, New York, Portland. Randall at the top, 9-2, great spot. I don't think Enes Kanter is going to be able to stop him. Who would be on him? So they're starting Alfred, Barrett, Reggie, Julius. Yeah, I mean, he's firmly in play. As you can see, he's on, 45, 50 plus fantasy point upside. That triple double upside if he's, passing the ball well. So at 9-2, I think he's a great spot. New York in this Portland game. Even though, I mean, New York is the number one defense right now in the league, which everyone is astonished by. But, Thibodeau is a good defensive coach. They've been playing slow, holding people down to, not a lot of points. So it's kind of gross to target. But, I mean, they are good pieces and prices at 9-2 for Randall. RJ Barrett, 6'8", firmly at play. As I mentioned, he's been playing really well, 35 plus minutes. So you could definitely look to RJ again. And then you could take a shot on one of these three guys. I want to go there. Alec Burks, 4'8". He was 5K last game. Only played 27 minutes. I mean, he shot the ball terrible. Still got you 20 fantasy points. So I'm more than finally going back to Alec Burks. Buying low, as I always mentioned. He's got that 30 plus fantasy point upside at 4'8", which is great. So I'd say my favorite plays on this side are Randall, Burks, and then Barrett. And then on the Portland side, you got Dame at 10K. I think he'll be a little bit lower owned just because of how well the defense has been playing for the Knicks. People are not going to want to go there. They're going to want to go to the Milwaukee, Atlanta side, or maybe some other games. But yeah, I'm fine with paying 10K for Dame. As we know, he's got 60, 70, even 80 fantasy point upside. He's going to shoot the ball a ton. He's their whole offense with CJ out, Nurk gone. So Dame is going to be a great low-owned GPP play today. Enes 6'2". You can do that if you want. I don't know if I will. He's not the best scorer, but he can definitely get you there with, rebounds. I wouldn't trust 5 assists. He's more like a 1 assist guy a game. So 6'2", I don't think I'd do it. Nurk out. Covington, you can go there if you want. I don't feel great with it. I'd much rather go to Anthony over Covington. Just because of the scoring upside, he's going to get about 25 minutes a game, maybe even 30 if he's shooting the ball well. It can get you in the 40s if he's shooting well and rebounding. So I'd much rather take that risk on Carmelo over Covington, especially if Covington's guarding Julius Randle. He might get in some foul trouble. And then you can take a shot on guys like Gary Trent, Jones Jr. They're not the best plays, but if you want to take a shot, you can. And then Rodney Hood, I think he's going to remain in the starting lineup, shooting guard. Shot the ball really well against San Antonio. You can definitely look to him to play again. Get you about 25, 30 minutes if you're shooting the ball well. So 3.8, great price tag. You can go there. But I'd much rather feel safer playing Damian and then maybe taking a shot on Melo and Hood on this side. So that does it for today, guys. If you could please leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. Maybe even leave a comment if you want. Or just follow me at DFS Hard on Twitter. I'll be happy to answer any questions you guys may have. So thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next slate. Thank you.